Good morning, everyone. I am Heidi Mulligan Walker, and I am the co author, along with Megan Peterson Fenn, of Inspiring Global Entrepreneurs. And today we are interviewing Carolyne Huber, who is the founder of an amazing project in Australia called Project Why You Do. And Carolyne is originally from Canada, and she has also lived in North America and is now on a working visa in Australia, and was inspired to start up what Megan and I think is just a fantastic project, really looking at why people are packing up their lives and relocating to Australia, and really interviewing them and finding out what is behind that impetus. And we love this because Megan and I love anything to do with actually traveling and exploring the world. But what we also love is the fact that we really believe that getting a change of scenery is really a big part of what makes entrepreneurs and expat entrepreneurs in general really successful at what they do. That creative spark that a change of scenery and relocating your life can actually give you and reinvigorate what you're doing. So we wanted to talk to Carolyne and find out what are the themes that she has uncovered as she's been interviewing people for her project. So Carolyne, thank you so much for joining me in the evening your time in Australia and the morning mine here in North Carolina.
Thank you.
So tell me. So you arrived from Canada there in Australia, and how long did it take you before you actually had the idea and the vision for a project Why You Do?
I think it probably was 4 to 5 months in. I realized that I needed to do something to stimulate my mind and find a way to relate to other people, and also a way for myself and my partner, as I came with my partner, to document why we were coming to Australia. And so it was a way to connect a passion of mine, which is learning why people are traveling, culture, meeting new people, and also a nice way for us to take pictures, document people's travels, and also ourselves. So we were in Margaret River, which is in Western Australia, and we were looking for different types of jobs. And with the computer always, at our hand looking for jobs, I said, well, I'm going to do something more creative with my time. And so the idea came to start the project.
Wonderful. I love it. This kind of just out of necessity, right? Comes
Yeah,
creativity.
exactly. Yeah.
It's another what I love too, and I think that as people sometimes see successful projects and they're beginning to think about what could I do, and yet they see the success of the project, they don't often think about the beginning of that project, and they don't actually sometimes realize if they just get started with something that you never know where it might lead. And so I love it when people like you actually take that first step. And Megan and I say a lot of times in the book, it's so important, just take that first step, and you never know what might come from it, just as you did with your what else can I do with this computer while I'm here in Australia. So tell me, what have been the themes? I just love this. I can't think of anything more fun than actually going and interviewing people who are doing something that I love to do, which is traveling. What have been some of the themes that have come out of those interviews?
One of the highlighting themes, I should say, is one that I seem to discover while talking to them for a little bit longer, is self growth and self discovery. I've interviewed people who are in the age bracket of, I'd say, 18 to 30 years of age, and no matter where they are in their life, they're always coming to this new country, they're traveling, and they're learning a lot about themselves in ways that they might not have thought or expected that they would have grown. Self-confidence, some of them, it's the first time they've lived by themselves, so just making food for themselves. A lot of them, I've interviewed really interesting people from the Asian continent as well, and a lot of them, it's the first time that they're leaving their family branch to live by themselves and with their friends. And so it's really learning how they can make it in the world without a support system. Just very, very interesting.
Why do you think that it sometimes takes that change of scenery for people to learn those things about themselves?
I think it's because from what I've been reflecting on the people I've interviewed is it's almost like you need to throw yourself over the edge. And as scary as that can be for a lot of people, not necessarily just traveling, but just trying a new thing, it's seeing how you can float and how you can just start over and do something powerful and successful for yourself.
I love that. I absolutely love it. And I was at the airport picking up my husband yesterday, and he was coming in from London, and I could see that there was this group of families waiting for their. It looked like their students to come back from. They'd been in France, and they had these signs. And I saw them all getting off, and it was obvious from the way that they reunited that they'd been gone for probably about like a 6 month, student exchange program. And I remember doing the same when I went to London. Megan and I both did travel abroad programs in college. And all I could think about was the transformative experiences that those kids had had while they'd been gone for those 6 months, all the things they'd learned about themselves. And I was thinking about some of those very mundane things like living on your own for the first time, needing to go grocery shopping in a different language and all of that. And just thinking, oh, wow, what fun they'd been having for the last 6 months, and really remembering how transformative it can be. So I think it's a really good point that you make that, as you leave your normal environment, it's that learning about yourself, understanding yourself in a different context, and what the opportunities that opens up for you, And I love the quote that you have in the interview you did on our website, that you really choose not to see or call things as fear, but really more as opportunities, and that opportunity for growth.
Yeah, that's definitely right. And although it is difficult sometimes, as of course everyone is, they're faced with what we call as fear. It's really a lot of positive thinking, and I feel that through the people that I've met and the people that I've interviewed, some either they're only a 4-hour plane ride away, some are 24 hours away, they're 14 hours time difference from back home, and it's really honing in on changing those fears and putting them in a positive aspect, and saying all the things that I'm learning now are opportunities for growth, and they're opportunities to take that step forward and to be more confident and to speak English, because a lot of people that I've interviewed come to Australia to learn English, whether it's from Europe, Italians, Spaniards, French people, China, Taiwan, South Korea, even people back home from Montreal, Canada, or Quebec, where they don't speak a lot of English, and it's those social interactions and finding people and letting people in, right, to yourself, and those aspects that are sometimes difficult for some people. They don't have a lot of confidence. They don't know how to speak with the local people, and it's just surmounting that and getting up every day and saying, I'm going to do this, and just do it.
Exactly. I love that you had a quote too about that you really learned to trust other people, and opening yourself up to them, and also to trust your own instincts throughout this journey. So, I mean, not everyone has the opportunity to travel around the world, or travel and pick up their life and start a new life somewhere else, even just if it's temporary. What advice do you have for people in terms of really just getting that creative spark, and getting a change of scenery right where they're living right now?
It's just, I guess, I think if it's just where they are right now, it's just getting up every day and having a fresh set of eyes on life, and saying, routines that you would think are routines, like getting up, going to take a shower, eating breakfast, and going to work. It's either that just maybe eating something new for breakfast, as silly as that sounds, or just taking a new route to go to work, or, if you're taking public transport, well, if you see the same person every day, why don't you strike up a conversation and see, maybe you share something similar with that person. Sometimes I used to commute 40 minutes per day, every day to work. And it's like, if you see the same people, you can say, hi, how's it going? How's your day been? Instead of staying in your own world, because then I think what's really powerful is connecting with people, because that other person could positively impact your life, or you can have a positive impact on their life just by saying hello. You know, if they were having a not so good of a day, and then that could just completely change their outlook on how the rest of their day is going to be.
So exactly. So just getting that change of scenery wherever you are can really spark that creativity, recharge, re-energize you. Yes, a trip to Australia for a year or two can do the same, but you don't actually need to do that if that's not available to you. You can get that same creative, jump start by just doing something different in your own community.
I think so. I think, there's always new things to see. There's new people to meet. There's new things to do. Every person in their life has an opportunity to change, to discover something new that they didn't know they were good at, and to just always be creative, be curious, and just open their eyes with a new set of eyes every day. So it's really interesting.
No, definitely. I think it's very true. And I think it's one of the things that Megan and I have been looking, saying, and even if I just look around here where I am in North Carolina, this area has been absolutely transformed by a huge influx of people from other countries over the last 20 years. It's unrecognizable from the Raleigh, North Carolina that was here 20 years ago. And it's because of immigrants and expats who have come, started businesses. I mean, I can go and I can eat any type of food I want. There's a great Greek expat who started a great Greek restaurant. There's, a fabulous guy from France who's done this amazing French bakery. So many different things. And I look around, I'm like, wow, it's really been transformed due to expats. And I think it's, people getting out and that changing that scenery, and then learning, thinking, similar to you, what can I do? How can I bring my skill set? How can I create an opportunity for myself here? So really, we love how expats change the environments where they are. And often it's that we think a lot of it has to do with that really reinventing yourself due to that change of scenery. But at the same time, we know that other people could really help their own entrepreneurship experience, whether they're expats or not, by just, again, seeing the potential for themselves and giving themselves that opportunity to break out of that normal routine and just try on something different. So, a lot of people think about wanting to be an entrepreneur, but they don't actually, take those steps. For some reason, why do people all of a sudden have that opportunity or see that it's possible maybe a bit more easily when they've left home and are living elsewhere? And I think it's that just seeing themselves differently and thinking, oh, hey, I've left everything I knew. It's almost like stretching a muscle, I can try this. The world's not going to fall away underneath my feet. Look, I've already left everything I knew. Like you said, I've left everything. It's all, thousands of miles away. Seeing that opportunity and not instead of seeing fear that might hold you back if you haven't had that opportunity and learned from your, from previous experiences. So it seems to really be something that binds a lot of the expat entrepreneurs that we have talked to in the past, and seems to be similar with the experiences of the individuals that you're interviewing who are traveling and learning new things about themselves all the time.
Yep.
What is next for you then with Project Why You Do? I know that you have a goal to interview 100 people. So how is that going?
Well, it's going good. About now I have 40 to 45 people.
Excellent.
I'm trying to do it in between the different jobs that I'm working on at the moment as well. But every time that I go on a trip, I just went to the Great Ocean Road, and next week we're going to Sydney.
Wow.
So I'm going to try to pick some people randomly, just like I do all my previous interviews, and just take some time with some people, write down the information. And once I hit 100 people, it'll just be the time to collate all the information and put it into an ebook that will then be sent out exclusively to the participants in a first round. So just each person gets their own page. And it's just a nice way to put a wrap around the project, and then they can see possibly how other people have evolved as well throughout the time that they've been interviewed. And at the same time, I'm updating the Facebook page That's more of a live feed, I should say, of the different places where I am and the pictures that I put up. And then it's also an opportunity for the participants, if they have anything that they'd like to add, any things that they've been doing, that they can add to the page as well, and just have a sense of a community, an online presence of a community.
Fantastic. Wonderful. Well, we will have your interview with us up online. We'll have a link to the Facebook page and whatnot. So please do keep us abreast of all of those developments. Send them through so that our followers can also follow your project. And, we really just find it so inspirational to have that real focus on the change of scenery and what can come from it when you actually allow yourself to learn, and you're open to actually learning about yourself and getting out of your environment. And we really love your motto of travel, explore, and grow. And you really can do that anywhere, whether it's just traveling on a different route to work in your current town, traveling in a different mode via bike instead of actually car, bus, whatever it might be. But also if you can go and visit Australia, do the same. So thank you so much, Caroline, for an inspiring project and for seeing the opportunity and not the fear and going for it. We really wish you all the best with Project What You Do, and we really look forward to seeing how it actually progresses.
Thank you very much, Heidi.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
Day.
Yeah, you too. A good night for you too, right? Great. Thank you.
Thank you.